Hello and welcome to the morning show Teeing Off with RevSportz. A very good morning to all of you present. Today also we have lots to discuss in the world of sports. IPL is coming up from tomorrow, and in badminton, Spain Masters Super 30 is going on yesterday. India had a pretty well run. Akashi Kashyap won against Michelle Lee of Canada, and it was a great feat for her because that was the first time she defeated someone below BWF ranking 50. Ashmita Chahlia won 2-0 versus Leonis Huet of France. Malvika Bansod, PV Sindhu all won. Kidambi Srikanth won and moved to pre-quarters. And today also we have the pre-quarters round, so we'll keep you updated. And today another PWB, Nikhat Zarin, and IPL discussions. And to discuss, we have Trisha Ghosha and Shubhan Chakravarti joining us. Can we please have Trisha and Shubhan? Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Morning, good morning.
Another BWB.
Yet
Another
another
BWB,
BWB.
and we
Yes,
had to
absolutely.
do it because we had to do it because Nikhat Zarin, what a fantastic season she had, and another one, Nikhat will be fighting against Neetu Gangas for that one Olympic spot in the 50 kgs, and that will be an interesting match, I would say. But another one, dono more situation for us Indian fans because Neetu has also been so good. Trisha, your
Yeah, but
thoughts?
but I kind of feel that Nikhat is going to win.
Yeah,
It's just that
Nikhat,
the body language is completely different, and you just know when taking nothing away from Neetu because she might seem this calm and composed person, but she is absolutely superb and a champion in herself. But it's just that with Nikhat, the hunger is so much different.
yeah.
She wants to win everything that she plays. So I'm sure, keeping her eyes on the Olympic gold, she will definitely edge past Neetu. But yeah,
Absolutely.
definitely, it's a little sad for Indian fans because we would have wanted both our
Absolutely.
champions to be there.
Yeah. And Neetu, another one, I think Neetu will be moving up a category. She fighted in 48 kgs and she will be moving up to 50. And Nikhat already from 52 to came down to 50. So I think that body advantage is also another thing that Nikhat will have. Shubhan, your thoughts, and then we'll move to today's BWV.
Of course, Nikhat will have an advantage because of the reason you just mentioned. The body structure is different. She has played at a higher weight category, so Nikhat will definitely have an advantage. But remains to be seen how Neetu plays because whatever I saw of her in the women's world boxing, she seems like a very attacking player. So how
Yeah,
she
that's
goes
the
about.
main.
So yeah, for her, how she goes about her business against Nikhil Zareen, against the poster girl of Indian boxing. Now it will be an interesting match.
Absolutely. And coming to the obvious question, when it comes to BWB, Trisha, coming to you, you have been working, and it was a yesterday the interview happened, and you worked throughout the interview. So, give us your favorite moment from the interview.
Why don't you play the promo? That's my favorite
Yeah.
part.
Okay. Okay. So, can you please have the promo?
आपने बहुत बार मेरे से ये बात किया है that when your father first took you and you identified that boxing thing in Hyderabad and you said nobody in your village, there was no tradition. From there to today, it has been an incredible journey, incredible. But अभी आपके पास पैसा है, नाम है, शौहरत है, फेम है, फिर भी मुझे भास्कर भट्ट साहब ने कहा, your father told me the same, Mr. Singh said the same, that you don't let these distractions impact your training or your focus. How do you keep your focus to the ring? Because you are a young woman, and with this kind of adulation for you, it's very easy to get distracted. Question number one. Question number two. Now the expectations will skyrocket. How do you deal with that?
Uh, Sir, answering to your question number one. So, coming from a middle class family, an Orthodox society, and a minority community where usually people don't allow the girls to go out of their house and pursue sports, especially sports like a boxing. But my father himself was a sports person, so he supported me. And like there were a lot of people in starting used to comment कि अपने बेटी को क्यों बॉक्सिंग में डाल रहे हैं और छोटे कपड़े पहना रहे हो. तो this is not allowed in our community religion. तो बट मेरे पापा ने किसी की सुनी नहीं. ही हैज ऑलवेज सपोर्टेड मी. और मेरे पापा ने हमेशा यही बात बोली थी कि आप बेटा मेहनत करते रहो और अपने गेम पर फोकस करो. जिस दिन आप मेडल जीतोगे यही लोग आके आपके साथ फोटोज खींचने के लिए रिक्वेस्ट करेंगे. और मैंने उस दिन से ठान लिया, जिस दिन मैं जूनियर वर्ल्ड चैंपियन बनी थी, मैंने यही सोचा था कि मेरा एक ही एम है कि ओलंपिक में गोल्ड जीतना. तब से मैंने ठान लिया. और उसके बाद लाइक आफ्टर लॉट्स ऑफ हार्ड वर्क और इतना मतलब चैलेंजेस फेस करने के बाद अब जाके आई एम गेटिंग ऑल दैट फेम सक्सेस इन माय लाइफ. बट एज आई सेड माय अल्टीमेट ड्रीम इज दैट ओलंपिक मेडल. तो जब तक वो नहीं पा लेती मैं अपने आप को चेंज नहीं करना चाहूंगी मैं. तो मैं इसीलिए अपने आप को फोकस करती हूँ बिकॉज आई नो दैट इज द अल्टीमेट ड्रीम. वो ओलंपिक मेडल इज माय अल्टीमेट ड्रीम. तो जब तक मैं वो पा नहीं लेती, आई डोंट वांट टू गेट डिस्ट्रैक्टेड. आई वांट टू बी फोकस. ये सब यू नो टेम्पररी है सक्सेस. ये सब आप जिस दिन वो ओलंपिक मेडल जीतोगे पूरी दुनिया आपके पीछे आएगी. तो इसीलिए मैं अपने आप को फोकस रखती हूँ. बाकी मैं अपनी लाइफ भी एंजॉय करती हूँ. ऐसे नहीं है. बॉक्सिंग के थ्रू आई एक्सप्लोर वर्ल्ड, आई मीट न्यू पीपल, आई मीट लाइक थ्रू बॉक्सिंग ओनली आई मेट सलमान खान, जो मेरा बचपन का सपना था. सो फॉर बॉक्सिंग आई लव बॉक्सिंग, आई ब्रीथ बॉक्सिंग. तो बॉक्सिंग से मेरे को डिस्ट्रैक्ट होना ही नहीं है जब बॉक्सिंग इज गिविंग मी एवरीथिंग.
Lovely, lovely, fantastic.
Brilliant.
And so many talking points coming from a minority community, wearing short clothes, as she said, her father supporting that, and then the things that boxing has given us. So inspiring. Shubhan, कैसा लगा?
बहुत बढ़िया, बहुत बढ़िया. I mean, she is an inspiration. I mean, for the last couple of years, whatever stories we have heard about her life, her struggle, it has always been a treat. And now when she beautifully says, I breathe boxing, but I have a life beyond boxing as well. Boxing has taught me, has helped me explore the world, meet new people, meet Salman Khan. But she has a life beyond boxing also. So that's good to see. But at the same time, she's so determined that जब तक वो ओलंपिक मेडल नहीं आ जाता मैं ऐसे ही रहूंगी. जब आ जाएगा तब देखा जाएगा कि what is next. But right now her focus is entirely on that Olympic medal, and that is why I think against Neetu Ganga's Nikhat will have that a bit of edge, I would say.
Absolutely, and I really like so many so many things that she said. That minority community thing, that is a big issue in India, in a country like India, coming from that situation. And really like that part that father said that इन्हीं लोग आएंगे जब तुम मेडल जीतोगे, इन्हीं लोग आएंगे पिक्चर खींचने के लिए. Trisha?
Yeah, I think a minority, of course, is very difficult. We know how most people face a lot of issues. The other part is it's never easy being a woman in our country. You're continuously judged for what you're wearing. You're judged for what you're doing, what you're eating, how much you're smiling, how much you're not smiling, whom are you smiling at, who have you gone out with. So, in short, I think from a very young age, every single athlete, I mean, think of it, for lawn tennis, I remember this particular question when I read this reports on Sania Mirza being called out for wearing skirts. My first question was, what is she supposed to wear and play? Because
Absolutely.
the problem is the society and its judgments are in, you cannot stop it. And as a woman, I keep repeating this because honestly, you know what, Rohan, when you go out, I'll give you a very small example. Say, for example, in a few hours, all of us are going to meet at our office, right? When you and Shubhan will go out, you'll just go to your cupboard and take out any shirt, any trouser, and just rush off. But for us women, we have to look into what color, whether it's if I mean, let's hope nothing can be seen. If I'm wearing shorts, I have to be 10 times careful that where am I going? Am I only going by a car? If I'm going in a public transport, somebody might
Yeah.
pinch on my thigh or something. Life is difficult as a woman. So from there, from and coming from a village, it becomes worse.
Yeah.
Me sitting in my house and complaining about being a woman, and someone from the village complaining about being a woman, is very, very different. From
Absolutely.
there to here, it has been tough. And that, basically, when you say tough, it's more mental toughness, and it builds you mentally. That's why I'm not taking anything away from Neetu's story, because she is a story
No.
in herself. But I'm saying that Nikhat is, and again, none of us are trying to say that Nikhat is more focused than Neetu. No, we are not judging
No.
any of the boxers. It's just that it when you can see the body language, and the way she has been after the Olympic medal. I think it would be lovely to for her to get one. And Rohan, I find every single woman athlete or every single women achiever extremely inspiring, because yes, we are in 2023, but we aren't that better. I can promise you that.
Absolutely. And Nihat Zarin is an inspiration, a story. Um, every day even the last day, Boryada was also telling about that story of her mother sitting in the balcony. Earlier, she didn't want to see her fight, and now she takes the front seat to
Yeah,
watch. And
that is there in the interview as well. In this interview, that she would run away saying, "Arey, ye kya dekhna, ladki maar kha rahi hai mere,"
yeah,
to
and
her cheering for her. I think
absolutely
also,
inspiration.
have you noticed this? Every single athlete who has actually made it big, especially women athlete, has had the support of their fathers. Fathers play a
Absolutely.
very, very big role in uh, woman becoming who she is.
Yeah, we have seen that. Sania Mirza's case also, we have seen that. Nihat
Absolutely.
Zarin.
Sania Mirza, Mathali Raj,
Yeah,
Nikhat Zareen. You talk to them, and every single person will say, "You know what? My father took the first step." Because, of course, mothers are supportive. But, for a daughter to go out there and be the person she wants to be, apart from the mother, you need the father to come up and say, "You know what? Kids, don't care about the society. Go ahead and achieve what you want to."
absolutely. And that's an inspirational story, and we are all waiting eagerly to see the interview. And let's move to another big thing. From yesterday, one song has been repeatedly coming into my mind. Ye hai India ka tyohar. So I remember that ad. Uh, I don't know which year that was, but yes, before IPL, that ad used to come. Ye hai India ka tyohar. And Shubhan, so tomorrow the big tournament is starting. Yesterday we previewed 5 teams. Coming to the first team preview by Bharat Ramaraj, he has said that can Duplessis end the 15 years of pain for RCB? Tisha, I'll come to you, but Shubham, you first.
I think RCB are a decent side. They have made it to three back-to-back semi playoffs. I think so. They are doing well. That just that the final step in the playoffs, they are missing the mark. But they are a decent side. They are a well-balanced side. Maybe the return of Glenn Maxwell again will help them. There were speculations whether Maxwell will miss out a few matches initially or not, but that's not the case. So they are looking good. They are looking good, and it all depends on how their top three, top four play, and the bowling department it comes off. Otherwise, in the middle they are a pack side. In the top also they are a pack side. Bowling wise, I think they are a bit thin, but that can be managed. This is a good team. Definitely should make it to the playoffs with the kind of strength that they have and the players they have.
Absolutely, and I think they have lost three times in the final. They have been runners up three times, so I think they should.
Three or two times, I think. Yeah, two times. I think.
Okay, so Trisha, coming to you, this new format of impact player. Who do you think RCB might have that impact player in mind? Anything? What Bharat says is he thinks that Avinash Singh, the fast bowler from Jammu and Kashmir can be one. Imran Malik. Anyone in particular you have in mind?
Not really, because it depends on the conditions. Say, for
Yeah,
example, in Chepauk, I think they will try and have a spinner as the impact player. Also,
yeah,
just adding on to what Shubhayan said, you know why RCB doesn't win the trophy? It's because our bowling lineup has always been thin. You know what? Batters will win you matches, yes, but bowlers will win you tournaments. And that's why we do not win the tournament. And even this time, not really impressed with the bowling lineup, to be very honest. But, you know, I think Abhinav Singh will be a very good option as an impact player. But then
okay.
again, as I said, it will depend on the pitch and a lot of other things, of course. And also, we have to see how the impact player rule actually works out, because yeah, I mean the super sub rule kind of fired or backfired. So let's
Yeah.
see the
So the first few games, 5 or 6 games, will give us the answer. Actually, what is
absolutely.
good? Yeah,
It was fun. It was actually fun in the Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy, but IPL, it's a bigger stage, so a lot of scrutiny is going to happen.
absolutely. And
Yes,
another thing that yesterday we were discussing that DRS for wide and waist length no ball. Trisha, yesterday you were not there. So, do you think too much of technology is being introduced in the game?
oh yeah,
DRS for wide,
oh
DRS for wide
absolutely
ball.
yes. Because see, you know what happens, Rohan? I think Boria and I were talking about this 2 days ago, that nowadays none of the umpires, even if the stump out or the run out is clearly, either it's clearly out or clearly not out, they are not going to give it. They straight
No,
away go
yeah,
to the third umpire. And the quality of umpiring, if you see, the more we are bringing in technology, the more the quality of the umpiring is getting hampered. I mean, WPL was one such example. The quality of umpiring was shambolic, honestly, if you ask me. IPL last year, if you think of it, Rohan, we kept complaining about umpiring, and this is happening because what happens is, I know I can go to the technology directly. Now the waist height no ball, for example, technology can only be, only use certain factors. Technology is not human being. In Shafali Verma's case, I clearly remember the square leg umpire had actually, put her arm out and signaled it as no ball. But because it was out, it went to the third umpire, and they used the technology and they said, no, it's not a no ball.
yeah,
So now the thing is, you have to consider a lot of things, right? Whether she was standing upright, where was she standing, behind the crease, in front of the crease. Technology doesn't take that, because it will take the line, it will track according to the line, not according to how Shafali is standing or any XYZ. I mean, WPL probably is not the best example to give for IPL, but it's the same game at the end of the day.
yeah,
So what I'm
obviously,
basically trying to say is, we are over dependent on technology. What that does is, the umpire's gut feeling is getting out of the way. And as an
absolutely,
umpire, I would feel, if I'm 50% sure of an LBW or an edge, I can lift my hand or I can say a no, because the other team can, of course, because the
yeah,
fielding team or the batting team can, of course, go to the DRS, go to the
absolutely,
third umpire. And probably that will only hamper the umpiring levels. And in the future, honestly, Rohan, you might not see too many Indian umpires in the ICC panel.
absolutely. And even calling a DRS for a wide ball also kills the momentum of the game. Yesterday we were talking on this,
Absolutely, it does. I mean,
and
it's
through
basic. White ball isn't very
yeah,
tough to judge, to be very honest. It clearly says that from the stance of the batter, how far is the ball? If it's unplayable, then it's a white. I mean, if it's unreachable, not unplayable,
yeah,
sorry, wrong word.
yeah,
And it's very easy. I think it is not difficult or anything of that sort. But as I said, the more dependent you become on technology, while you might get. I think I read somewhere somebody said that Muralidharan probably would have 1,000 wickets, or Anil Kumble would have so many wickets had there been a DRS. Agreed, completely agreeing. The way Steve
Absolutely.
Buckner, Shubhan, remember, used to lift his finger up as soon as it hit Sachin Tendulkar anywhere. Some add thousands more, 2-3,000 more runs to Sachin's tally.
Yes.
But
And he
winning
would
this
have reached
became
the
less
100
interesting.
quite earlier also. And he would have
Yeah, that's
reached
what I'm
the.
saying. I mean, then ultimately, see, cricket is also a lot about manual error, right? The batter makes an error of judgment, or the bowler makes an error of judgment. Why not the umpires? I mean, why so much dependence on technology?
Yeah, absolutely. Shubhan, Sachin Tendulkar could have reached the 100 quite earlier, but yesterday you previewed CSK. So your impact player for CSK, you have mentioned couple of names, Sander, Dwayne. So your thoughts on that CSK's impact player? Could you please explain?
They don't have much depth. The squad depth is somewhat missing in CSK. They have a very good playing 11, playing 12, playing 13. But apart from that, they don't have that sort of squad depth, and it will be tough. I think in Chepauk they might use Mitchell Santner as another impact player can come down with the bat as well. So that could come into play. But in other departments, if they want, if they are playing a Dwayne Pretorius, they can easily exchange it for a Mitchell Santner in the second innings. If they want another spinner, play Dwayne Pretorius with the bat. He's a better bat, I feel, than Mitchell Santner. But otherwise, Rajvardhan Angarkar is too young. I feel I've written his name, but I feel he's too young to be coming as an impact player and making a change in IPL. But I've written it clearly that CSK might be the team with least usage of impact players. With least usage of impact player because they don't have that sort of squad depth, and that is why I that is what I think. And otherwise, I think it will be like that only. If you are playing a Devon Convoy, you are batting first, then use a Devon Convoy with the bat, and then bring someone like Vin Pretorius who can come and bat for you at number 7 and give you 3-4 overs as well. So these are the kind of things I think CSK are going to try.
Okay. And today also we'll have a lot of the other 5 teams preview coming up, and the big 1 hour build up to the IPL show, and lots to discuss about IPL. But uh, we'll talk about IPL. But another thing that is going up, the Asia Cup, India won't be going to Pakistan, and in the World Cup, there has been yesterday news that Pakistan will be playing their matches in Bangladesh. So Trisha, these things are hampering. These political issues are hampering the tournament and the games eventually. Yeah.
I think these political issues have always been there. And to be very honest, see, it's also about the safety of the players. So it's pretty logical that India is not going to Pakistan, and it has got nothing against Pakistan or the Pakistan cricket board.
Yeah.
So there is nothing really personal. And if Pakistan plays in Bangladesh, I don't mind. I will be going to Bangladesh, as Boria said yesterday in our office group. So I'm going to be ready to have some good Ilish.
Release match.
But to be very
What
honest, you know
can
what? To compare an Asia Cup to a World Cup is very difficult as far as I'm concerned, because if India doesn't want to, I don't know, if India doesn't want to go to Pakistan, and India pulls out of Asia Cup, I don't mind. But Pakistan not coming to it, I mean, just to answer that, or just to, take a revenge and not play the World Cup, honestly, it will be Pakistan's loss,
I like
because
your
it's a
answer.
World Cup.
I like
Sorry?
your answer, Shubham. I like your answer. The way you say
Right.
it. Well,
I think if I say it very clearly, Pakistan, if they want to make Asia Cup in a hybrid model, they don't have the finances to do so. Number one. Who will take an Indian team to UAE, or for example, if in Afghanistan or India is playing, Afghanistan play Pakistan in Karachi, then who will give you the give you the finances to carry the entire Afghanistan team to the UAE when they play India next. It's not feasible. It's not feasible. It's not a long window like a World Cup. It's only a 10-day, 12-day event. So you will have matches at a rapid pace. Pakistan logistically, it's going to be a nightmare. So that's why I think Asia Cup will be played in UAE or Doha or wherever it is, apart from Pakistan. Number two, World Cup. Yesterday it was a as soon as I saw the story, I felt it was a planted story because as soon when you ask someone from the know-how that Pakistan are saying this, they have said it in a meeting. First of all, there was no official discussion in the ICC meeting about this. So as soon as that is not in your minutes, it is not formal. It is not formal. Informally, you can say anything. Informally, you can say anything. I want to play, go to Muscat or go to anywhere, go to Iceland and play cricket in the volcanoes. I want to say that I want to host a ODI World Cup in Iceland someday.
Iceland cricket will be
It's
happy.
not going to. But it's not going to happen. It's just an informal chat. And as soon as, for example, if a Wasim Khan who he met Jay Shah. I'm just saying it hypothetically. I'm just giving an example. Wasim Khan meets Jay Shah in the buffet room. He says, हम लोग पाकिस्तान में मैच रखवाएंगे इंडिया पाकिस्तान का 5 मैच का टेस्ट सीरीज होगा. They are having this informal chat while having the dinner. It doesn't mean it's an official talk. Wasim Khan can't come out and say, we are going to invite India for 5 match series. Jasha has agreed to play. It's not like that. It doesn't happen like that. So number two, Pakistan, if they are not willing to play, India will not budge. India will not budge. Yes, we saw Pakistan play their group matches in 2011, but that was a jointly hosted World Cup. It was not India were not the single host. We have to keep that in mind. So Asia Cup in UAE, ODI World Cup in India, Pakistan, PCB. Their Twitter, social media journalists or fanboys. They can say anything they want, but it's Pakistan are not going to. In Champions Trophy later in 25, we can talk about that. It's still couple of years away, but right now UAE is hosting Asia. Anyone barring Pakistan is hosting Asia Cup, and they will have to come and play their matches in India in ODI World Cup.
No options.
Yeah, I think,
Okay.
and anyway, we know. I mean, I'm sorry to say this, but a
Yeah.
lot of Pakistani former cricketers also, they just like to comment some crazy. I mean, it could just be because of the social media and views and all that,
It
because
gives you great views when you talk about India and Pakistan.
A couple of years back, I'll tell you an interesting story. A couple of years back, I will not name the former cricketer. We were having a chat on WhatsApp and we were talking about it. It was IPL time only, and he said, "मेरे को ले लो, मैं दो shows करूंगा दे हफ्ते के, and I will give you such headlines that तुम्हारा show blockbuster हो जाएगा." मैंने बोला कैसा एग्जाम्पल? बोला मैं बोल दूंगा कि बाबर आजम को अगर आईपीएल टीम में होता तो वो नंबर 7 पे 8 पे बैटिंग कर रहा होगा. नहीं छोड़ो. So these are the type of former players who know that
correct.
if they say something like this and they say it willingly, they know उनको गालियां पड़ेगी Indian fans से. They know they will face a lot of
But that's
flack
what
from the
they
Indian
take
fans. But
Galia as
हाँ,
interactions.
right. It's a clickbait we can say.
And gives you great
Exactly.
views. And gives you great views.
हाँ, Abdul Razak saying I'll make Hardik Pandya the best all-rounder. Hardik Pandya क्यों जाएगा अब्दुल रजाक के पास ट्रेनिंग करने? Who is Abdul Razak?
Shubhan is in a hot red form, and
No, I
we
think
hope to,
some other player also said no that I had told Virat Kohli tera baap. I mean, it is all said for the camera,
yeah,
for
yeah.
the views. So just don't
But
take it seriously.
these guys,
I mean,
but these guys are good
Rohan,
friends.
let me. I think we have discussed this n number of times that World Cup is like the ultimate for cricket,
Yeah.
especially. So I don't think anybody is tampering with the World Cup, right? So they can talk about Asia Cup, Champions Trophy, or whatever they like, but nobody's tampering with the World Cup. So Pakistan playing in Bangladesh, Pakistan playing in Honolulu, nothing is happening. They're coming to India and they're playing here.
But I really love this India Pakistan chit chats. Yesterday I was in YouTube. I was seeing a old episode of Dadagiri where the Sehwag, Muhammad Kaif, VVS Laxman came. So Sehwag was telling, uh, I used to sing while batting. एंड सबसे ज्यादा पाकिस्तान के प्लेयर फरमाइश रखता था कि दादा थोड़ा किशोर कुमार का गाना गा दीजिए, मोहम्मद अली साहब का गाना, रफी साहब का गाना गा दीजिए. So I love this India Pakistan chit chats, but these guys all are friends outside the field, I would say, and they have a great story. And we will continue with the IPL chats in the today's 1 hour show. So I won't be talking about IPL. So before we end today's show, I want to ask both of you guys. I yesterday we had a story on Yan Dhanda and the OCI rule, OCI card rule. So I want to hear your views. Trisha, you first. India have been missing out on so many young and talented players willing to play for India. We had Michael Chopra beforehand, Luciano Narsingh, India and Dutch citizen, Yan Dhanda. So we are missing out on these talented players. Your thoughts on that, and is it time for AIF to change the OCI rule?
Absolutely, it is. I mean, I don't see any reason why AIFF shouldn't change the rule, because when at the end of the day, if a player is good enough to feature in your top 11, because again, you take your top 11 to the field. And if somebody is good enough to be in that top 11, doesn't matter OCI or in Indian citizen. So, of course, you have to change the rule. I think it's high time. I genuinely don't know what was the reason that the rule wasn't there in the first place, or maybe nobody thought of it that way. Rohan, at times the rules are like that nobody thinks of the future. But when you
Indian constitution only doesn't allow two nationality. Yeah.
Exactly, and that is where and I do think it has got a lot to do with when the constitution was made. There was, I mean, the situation then and now. Sorry?
Yeah, the constitution says Indian citizens can't have dual citizenships, but these people have OCI card, overseas Indian cards.
Correct.
That's a different
Correct.
thing.
Right.
And we have seen all teams in Europe and all over the world allowing such status holders players in their teams. And you see,
It's like Akshay Kumar having a Canada passport, and working in Bollywood. That's the same thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and I think it doesn't change who you are and what sort of player you are. I mean, Akshay Kumar, just because he has a Canadian citizen, doesn't become a Canadian as such. It's perfectly fine. I think I will always repeat that as federations, as associations, your first priority should be something that Ajay Singh mentioned in the VWB interview, that सिर्फ ये जो 4 लोग जीते वो इम्पोर्टेंट नहीं है, जो जीते नहीं है वो भी इम्पोर्टेंट है क्योंकि वो फ्यूचर स्टार्स है, जो बेंच में है वो भी इम्पोर्टेंट है क्योंकि वो आपके फ्यूचर स्टार्स है, बट ये आपके मेन प्लेयर्स भी है. So that's what your 11 should be your best 11. If that means that you have to include 2 OCI players, it just doesn't matter. I think you should go ahead and change it ASAP. And I read your article and it was a very, very powerful and makes a lot of sense actually, if you see.
Absolutely, because another problem, these players like Yan Dhanda, he might not be that good to feature in the English national team, but he might be too good for the Indian team. And if Yan gives up his OCI card, he can't play club football in UK because India doesn't have a ranking below 70. So that's a separate issue. Shubhan, your thoughts on this matter and we close the show here.
I think they need to figure out something to allow the players, whether it's a temporary 5-year, 10-year card or something. They should make something to allow this player. If they are willing to play for India, then who are we to stop them from doing so? And I think the AIFF needs to sit with the Indian government, figure out something, because otherwise we'll be stuck wherever we are right now. 106 in FIFA ranking. will continue to be there and there only. You need, like in IPL, you had that overseas talent come and give your domestic guys those confidence. When a Yan Dhanda or a five other players come in, they play with your team. The quality increases, the tempo increases, and I think they need to figure out something. Otherwise, it will be the same as it is in the next after 5 years as well.
Also,
Absolutely.
Rohan,
And
just to add to
yeah,
this, it also adds a bit of fresh, I mean, point of view would be the wrong word, but see, these players with OCI would have played in the England clubs. What that
yeah,
eventually does is they can bring in that more professional environment in the team.
absolutely, absolutely.
They can probably also build, like for example, I keep repeating this because I had massive expectations from an Udanta. I am a huge fan, but somewhere he has died down. Maybe because there isn't somebody to push him, because there are high chances that you might feel, I'm never going to be Sunil Chetri, what am I fighting for? India is never going to play the World Cup, what am I fighting for? And then these
Absolutely.
people come in and you're like, okay, I'm fighting for my position in the team because somebody is there who can be younger, much better, with way more experience because
Yeah,
has played for English clubs. And that could change the whole. And when I say this, I'm not saying any of our players are lazy, but I'm saying the motivation increases.
yeah,
If you take
absolutely,
competition in the right way, it actually pushes you to do much better than what you can do. So I
absolutely.
can only see positives. Maybe work it out with some sort of work permit or something.
Mm.
Special sports permit or something of that sort. I'm sure Indian government can work out. And you know what is the best part, Rohan? We have a prime minister who has a special place for sports.
Sports, yeah.
He backs sports like anything, and that's when I feel the AIFF will go ahead and find a solution to this.
Yeah, and in this matter, the positive thing that I saw was Shaji Prabhakaran's tweet. He said that yes, Jan, it's the time we can talk about it and see what can be done. So that's also a great uh, thing coming from a top boss of the AIFFs, and we hope that this matter gets solved because we have missed out on players like Michael Chopra with such huge experience in English football, Cardiff City, Nottingham Forest, all the big clubs he has played for, and he wanted to play for India and it was back in 2013-14 season. But and that was, I won't say his peak, but he was in a good shape. Had he played in India at that time, Michael Chopra and Sunil Shetty pairing up could have been something good. Uh, so let's hope that it happens. And today also we have lots to discuss. The BWB Nikat Zarin promo is coming up right up next. The episode is there in evening. We have the 1 hour IPL build-up show and obviously the 5 team previews. So thank you for joining, Shubhan Chakraborty, Trisha Ghoshal, and we'll see you in office. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Thank you.